So today I wanted to talk about offering the mandala. There's many different mandalas and ways to offer them. It's a very vast topic, but I'd like to talk about two today. So I've been doing the mandala Nundro for a while, and with all Nundros, the first task is to make it relevant to my practice, to my life. And that's easy to say and hard to do. I remember I did the Refuge Nundro and finished the whole thing, and I had no connection to it whatsoever. It was years later that it finally started to sink in. So when we offer a mandala, whether the short one or the long recitation, we're offering the entire universe to either the Buddhas or to our teachers or both. The traditional recitations are done with a description and visualization of the universe according to ancient Indian cosmology. So like in the Green Tara practice, this ground anointed with perfume, flower-strewn Mount Meru, four lands, sun and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offer to you. May all beings enjoy this pure land. So this is how the universe is depicted in the Abhidharma, the earth being flat and Mount Meru at the center, surrounded by continents. Because there are more than one description in Buddhist scriptures of the universe, there's one in the Sutra and Tantra, and then there's one in the Kalachakra offering. The Dalai Lama says that we can likewise visualize offering the universe the way that science depicts it, either the whole Earth or the solar system or the galaxy or the whole universe. So in other words, we can offer the universe in a form that makes sense to us and that the offering is sincere. If we offer it with Mount Meru in a certain shape and continents and we can't really relate to that, then there's no feeling to it, and then there's not much emotion. And so it's not very helpful. At least that's been my experience with it. In the Tara practice, when offering the mandala, we're offering the universe to her. With this short mandala recitation in the sadhana, I'll often recite it as written, but translate the visualization to match my understanding of the universe. This way it's more relevant, and it's quite wonderful visualizing offering, for example, the Milky Way or planets or all the stars, so like that. Then it has more relevance to my experience with what our universe is. The verse, imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you, may all beings enjoy this pure land. So pure land is a place where everything is conducive for being able to study and practice the Dharma 24 hours a day. You don't have to work, don't have to eat, don't have to sleep. You don't have to do anything but study and practice all the time. And then on the deepest level, a Pure Land Buddha field refers to clear light mind, which is the mind's subtlest level when actualized by an Arya Bodhisattva. So when we make the mandala offering, we can imagine that this is the type of situation that we're in, that our minds are in the most conducive state, and everybody be able to share that type of condition, to be able to study. It is in this context that we request a teaching or offer to the deity while imagining that everything is perfect, everything is conducive. That's very helpful for the mind. When offering the mandala for Nundro or the preliminary practice, the offering is directed to the Buddha or to a deity. And we use a metal plate and rings, constructing the mandala 100,000 times, building up much merit, and it also removes obstacles to the practice. When we offer the mandala like this, we build up the mandala using beads or precious stones, visualize the universe, and then overturn the plates, and then build it back up again. And this process is psychologically very powerful as it gets us in touch with impermanence, something coming together, something coming apart, over and over again, over and over again. The long mandala recitation for this practice is also referencing ancient Indian society and cosmology. And again, it's not very relatable. At least it hasn't been to me. Whenever we offer something, we have to offer it to somebody, as creating merit depends on our state of mind in which we make the offering. So we need a proper motivation, a level of concentration, and an understanding of emptiness that is brought into the practice. The motivation for offering the mandala is practicing generosity, but it is also about letting go and surrendering. So we can certainly offer beautiful sights and sounds and tastes, but we also offer things that we're attached to, things that are difficult for us. And this supports our motivation to prepare ourselves for a precious human rebirth so that we can continue to practice next life. At death time, we don't want to be burdened down by the things that bind us, that keep us grasping and tethered. We want to relax and let go. So working with mandala offerings, we can practice offering up all our attachments, letting them go, and then surrendering like we want to do when death comes. So letting go doesn't come easily. We practice not only letting go, but letting be, giving away, making offerings. We identify people and objects and even aspects of the universe itself, such as the mountains and streams that have personal meaning. Then we offer aspects of our lives to the Buddhas. When we make offerings to the Buddhas, the effects can't be known. And so for this reason, it becomes a kind of pure giving with really no measurable rewards. And this generosity arises from respect, gratitude, devotion, with no self-reference. When we choose to make offerings to Buddhas and deities, we are letting go not just of objects, but of the grasping mind. So we give away mountains and rivers by giving away phenomena that are impersonal and inconceivable. We kind of reconfigure our place in the universe. When we offer these natural wonders, such as mountains and rivers, the shape of our conventional reality changes. These things are huge. Like often I'll offer the Rocky Mountains, and I just think about that, and it's like huge. And so that changes my conception and changes how I relate to things. It opens the mind. It loosens the tight grip of our small, cherished self at the center of our small world. Universes that cannot be held or owned or that are barely imaginable help disrupt our patterns of limitations. Every offering of whatever we identify as me and mine loosens the self-grasping ignorance and increases our wisdom. As we offer, remember the emptiness of inherent existence of what we are offering, which increases the power of the practice. The author Rob Preece, who was a student of Lama Yeshe, in his book, Preparing for Tantra, wrote a mandala practice for modern times, which I've adapted for my use. I have found it very meaningful and helpful. And I'll read it now. Here is the circle of my totality. This is the center of my universe. This is the environment in which I live. These are the oceans and mountains, the lakes and rivers and rocks and trees. These are beautiful places I treasure, the plants and flowers, the wildlife. These are the cities and towns that I have lived and worked in, their value and downfall. These are the people I live among and offer service among. There are my friends and acquaintances, those I depend on. These are the people I struggle with, the objects of my aversion and confusion. This is my offering service, my spiritual practice, my action in the world. This is my home, my garden, and my possessions, the things I treasure and value, and the objects of attachment. These are my loved ones, my family, my private life. This is the body I inhabit in this life. These are my sense pleasures, the food, the music, the beauty I value. These are the dreams, my ambitions, my plans. These are all the things I wish for in my life that may or may not come to pass. These are my qualities, my talents and gifts. This is the knowledge and learning I have gained in my life. These are my habits, my emotional problems, my wounds. This is the core of my identity that I hold on to as real. This is the spiritual journey I am on. These are the qualities and realizations I aspire to. These are the obstacles and difficulties of the path. These are the essential ingredients of my enlightenment. This is the treasure of my Buddha potential. This symbolizes my enlightenment, my victory over the confusion and suffering of myself, and the confusion and suffering of all sentient beings. I offer this mandala of my essential totality and surrender my being to all the Buddhas for the welfare of all sentient beings. Please bestow your blessings. All these objects of my mind's three poisons, friend, enemy, and stranger, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, without any sense of loss, I surrender. Receive them, please, and free all beings from their bondage. So I recite this full offering once when I'm doing my nundro and as I'm filling up the mandala with beads and stones. I go through a few lines at a time after that so that I can really think about what I'm offering, getting a feeling for it. And then with a couple lines that I recite or, internally, then I think, and then I say, I offer these without any sense of loss. Please accept them with pleasure and inspire me and others to be free from the three poison attitudes. Now, when I recite, I offer these without any sense of loss, I can feel how that affects my grasping, how much I'm holding on. And then I really work at letting go. And so it becomes a very meaningful practice doing it that way. So I take my time and go through each of the verses, the ones that really affect me and I know, and so then that's where I really put my attention and work. And at the very end, we recite Idam Gurum Ratna Mandala Kamnirya Tayami, and that translates as I send forth this mandala to you, my precious spiritual master. So like all practices in Buddhism, there's so many levels of understanding and how deep we can go with them, and it's true with the mandala offering also. And so may we all go very deep in our practice during this retreat time with all of our practices so that we can continue on our path to full awakening so that we may benefit all beings.